I begin with the name of Allah, who is the most kind, who is most merciful. Friends, I welcome you all in second episode of Creation or Evolution. In this second part, we will learn about geological time scale. What is geological time scale? Number one, when the earth was created. What is total life of the earth? When first living organism appeared on the earth, and during which time of the history of the earth which particular organism appeared on the earth, for how much it lived on the earth, and when its extinction took place. In addition, what is the rock, what is the age of the rocks, and what is the age of the fossils present in these rocks. All these studies come under the heading of geological time scale. What is importance? Actually, this time scale was used by Charles Darwin during his time in the making of his theory of evolution. In addition of his observation on different living organisms like birds, like mammals. So I thought it should be very fair if I re-evaluate the theory of evolution, because enough time, more than 160 years are passed, thousands of excavations has occurred, millions of new fossils have discovered, and science also achieved tremendous amount of progress in all fields. One thing I assure you folks, if you develop great full understanding about this geological time scale, you by yourself would be in a position to decide about the reality of theory of evolution. What I mean by the reality of evolution? Yes, whether it is true, whether it's false. So let's start about geological time scale. Geological time scale 4,600 million years. This is the time from the origin of the earth up to date I am talking to you. Now the geologist and the paleontologist, they have divided these 4,600 million years in four main divisions: eon, era, period, and epoch. Now coming towards first division, what we called as eon. Eon is further divided into four divisions from the bottom towards top. First is Hadean, second is Archean, third is Proterozoic, and last one, the current one, is Phanerozoic. This Hadean, its duration is 800 million years. This is the age of the rocks. No life was present during this eon. Second eon, Archean, its duration is 1,300 million years, and single-celled bacteria, they are found during this eon. I mean, they are found during, their fossils are found during Archean eon. Then the third one is Proterozoic. Its duration is almost 2,000 million years, and very simple life in the form of algae, ediacaran fauna, sponges are found. Algae, you know, these are plants. Ediacaran fauna, scientists are still not clear whether these are plants, whether these are animals. Sponges are very simple animals. The last eon is the Phanerozoic. This is the shortest of all, 507 70 million years, and all the complex life present in this eon. All the complex life mean all the sudden appeared invertebrates, trilobites, vertebrates, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, dinosaurs, flowering plants, mammals, and then the earliest Homo sapiens, I mean present human. These belongs to Phanerozoic. Now this Phanerozoic 570 million years, they are further divided into three eras in total. Number one from bottom is Paleozoic. Its duration is 322 million years, and first invertebrates, complex trilobites, and then vertebrates, fishes, amphibians belongs to this era, what we called as Paleozoic. Then next one is Mesozoic. Its duration is 183 million years, and it is the age of the reptiles. However, first mammals and first flowering plants also appear during this era. Then last era, to which we all human belong, to which I belong, to which you belong, is of shortest duration, 65 million years only. This is the age of the mammals, and this is the age of the earliest Homo sapiens and present day human. So my friends, this is all about the very superficial introduction to geological time scale. Now coming towards the significance of this table, this is very important. So I again will start from bottom. In heading no life for 800 million years, and only this is the age of the rocks. Then Archean 1300 million years, the first single celled bacteria appeared and remain only single celled bacteria for 1300 million years, very long time. Then next one is the Proterozoic, in which again very simple algae and sponges they are found, and they remain very simple. I mean algae remain algae, sponges remain sponges. Their fossils, all the fossils of algae, they are found in algae form, and all the fossils of sponges during Proterozoic, they found very specific shape of sponges. Now another thing, all the first three eons, Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic, they are collectively called Precambrian period, and these accommodate 87% of total history of the earth. I mean, these occupy 4030 million years out of 4600 millions of total time period of total life of the earth. Now life is very simple during Proterozoic in the form of algae, sponges, but then there is a big boom in the form of very first very complex trilobite, which is invertebrate. Very first invertebrate, very fully formed, fully complex trilobite. Here I have shown the picture of trilobite. Complex fully formed trilobites just appear while moving from Proterozoic towards Cambrian period. This trilobite is having compound eyes, the sensory organs, brain, the gut, locomotory system. So this is, folks, this is a huge complexity, and this complexity, whole complexity appear just in a blink of eye, just moving from Proterozoic towards Cambrian period. Now folks, recall the theory of evolution. With the passage of huge amount of time, I mean millions of years, small incremental changes, they keep adding up in a specific organism, and in a way that lot of variants of that specific organism are formed, and from these different variants only those survive that are well suited, that are most fitted to the environment, that are selected by the nature, that is natural selection. So it takes a huge amount of time, millions of years, and all the less suited or all the weak variants, they just diminish with the passage of millions of years. So if this theory demands the presence of huge amount of time over here in between Proterozoic and Cambrian period, because an extraordinary complex trilobite with sensory or sensory system, brain, gut, compound eyes, locomotion, it just appear. So if the theory is assumed as correct, then there should pass a tremendous amount of time in the form of accumulation of great strata of rocks in between Proterozoic and Cambrian strata of rocks, and that stock, not only there is accumulation of the rocks, there should be present a huge rock strata in between Proterozoic and Cambrian rock strata, but also that strata should be having the simpler forms of the trilobites. I mean the ancestral forms of the trilobites. I mean the failed experiments of the trilobites. I mean the different variants of the trilobites. So I also mean the complex forms of the sponges that are traveling from very simple sponges that are having only channels. Water is coming into these channels, the nutrients from water, they are just absorbed and water goes away. This is very simple animal sponges where only 4 to 5 different kinds of proteins, different kind of cells, and it should go into this condition with the passage of millions of years, and then with the passage of millions of years into this form, and these all forms would be present somewhere here in between the Proterozoic and Cambrian period in the form of fossils. Then very simple forms of the trilobite should also be there. The forms that would be missing, someone would be having missed eyes, some would be having less developed digestive system, some having different sizes, and some having very rudimentary locomotory organs. So, but all these steps, all these pre-ancestral forms are the precursors, are the different variants. They not only these missing, however, also the strata in between that should be expected according to the theory of evolution should be present in between Proterozoic and Cambrian is also missing. Folks, this poses a very big question mark onto the theory of evolution, and this is a great puzzle, and this is not a new thing. This is not a thing I am telling. I am the first person telling or inquiring about that. This is the mystery that was well known to Darwin during his own time, and in his book he wrote this is a huge complexity that just appeared during Cambrian period, and this is obvious difficulty for me, and I have no satisfactory answer for the absence for the absence of precursor forms, the pre-ancestral forms of the complex trilobites are the complex form of the sponges that are moving from very simple sponges toward very complex trilobites. However, as he spent all his life in the development of his theory, so in this way, to keep his theory alive, he proposed a new idea, a new hypothesis, in which he said that this is the mystery for the time being, because there is very insufficient data, there is very insufficient sampling of the fossils. When with the passage, when a sufficient time will pass and a lot of excavations will occur, then we found very easily we will found the ancestral forms of the trilobites, the intermediate phases of the trilobites, the intermediate complex form of the sponges. And he also wrote, if these ancestral forms are found, then his theory should be considered as correct theory, and if these intermediate phases of trilobites, of complex first invertebrates, they are not found, then it will pose very big question mark on my theory, and my theory could be considered as wrong theory. But he proposed that this is obvious that with the passage of time, all the missing links, they will be found. So folks, whether now more than 160 years are passed, whether sufficient excavations occurred, answer is yes. Whether sufficient fossils they are found, they are discovered, answer is yes. So with the discovery of these further millions of fossils, whether the mystery of missing fossils resolved, folks, to determine the answer, to have the answer of this question, you will have to watch out my next video, my third part of creation or evolution. I'm very thankful to all of you for your precious time. So this is all about third part of creation or evolution. We inshallah will meet soon with third part of creation or evolution. Till then, it's Allah Hafiz.